Have you ever had a real rare piece of history and still felt disappointed a little bit? That's the case right now, and I want to tell you about it. I want to do this video in English because I didn't find anything similar in YouTube when I was doing my research. So I want this to reach as more people as possible. This is, and those of you that may be a little guitar gear savvy may be thinking right now, oh my god, the Arion SCH-1 stereo chorus. And yeah, that's because this is a real gem from the 80s. The Arion company, they started in the late 70s as an economy option to other pedals like the Boss and even the DODs. Arion started in Japan, late 70s, and they introduced this line of cheap pedals. It's all plastic. These pedals are all plastic, and by the early 80s they introduced this one, the SCH-1 stereo chorus. And what happened then was that after a few years in the market, it was discovered by players like Eric Clapton, Michael Landau, and they discovered its sound. It's a very distinct and beautiful sound. Yeah, it's a chorus, but it kind of resembles a Leslie, right? A roto speaker. And so some famous players adopted this pedal, and then with time, and especially after it was discontinued, it achieved as a cult status. So late 80s, they make the SCH-1. In the early 90s, and there are not a lot of information on Arion, so I will say early 90s, they moved production from Japan to Sri Lanka, right? And then only 1 year after, they discontinued the SCH-1 and replaced this pedal, the CH1, with the SCZ1, CZ1, right? So I found this pedal online, really good price, and I got it. I bought it. It got home. I tested it. I thought it sounded beautiful. I thought the sound was really distinctive and great. But then I thought, hey, yeah, let's see. I'm a product planner, right? In the late 80s in Arion, Japan, right? And I know I'm going to move to Sri Lanka. But I do not intend to launch this pedal until after 1 year, after I move to Sri Lanka, right? So what do? Do I take all my machines and the circuits and parts and ship all of that to Sri Lanka and train people to build this pedal for only 1 year, and then do everything again to start production of the SCH pedal? Does that make sense? Or I just start the new circuit in Sri Lanka, the new replacement circuit, and because I don't want to make the launch until 1 year after, I'm just keep calling it CH1 until I'm able to switch. So I had a question in my head, so I opened the pedal, right? I opened the pedal. It's made in Sri Lanka. So remember, it's only probably 1 year or less of production in Sri Lanka. And this is an SCH-1. I only found one reference of a Sri Lankan made SCH-1 in the internet. Some guy who had one SCH-1 made in Sri Lanka and was asking questions in one forum. Well, that was it. Everything else is ACH1s are made in Japan and ACHCs are made in Sri Lanka. And it's worth saying that the SCH-Z does not have the same cult following as the CH1, right? This is ACH1 is the most sought after pedal from Arion, right? The CH1. The ZHZ is not. The replacement is not. It did not achieve the same status. So, but I told you, if I was a product planner, I don't know if I would go through the effort of gearing up and tooling up for only 1 year of ACH1 production in the new facility. So what do I do? If it was me, if it was my money, I would just switch to a new circuit as soon as I move to a new facility in Sri Lanka, and continue calling it the CH1. If for some reason I do not plan to launch the new product until 1 year after. So I open the pedal, right? And this is what I found. This is the ACH-Z circuit. It's not the 1, it's the Z. And that's why I'm disappointed. This is not Eric Clapton's and Michael Lando circuits. This is the new one, the one that people doesn't like that much. And am I disappointed? Yes, a little bit, because of that reason. But at the same time, I realize that this is extremely rare. It's CH1 made in Sri Lanka. Also, I didn't pay CH1 money for this. I don't think I even paid the CHZ money for this. It was a really good deal. I'll show both circuits in my edit, so you can see the difference between the Z and the 1. Unfortunately, somebody glued this potentiometer in place, and I cannot take it apart much further. But this view is enough to realize that this is the C circuit, not the 1 circuit. So as I was saying, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, but at the same time I realize this is an extremely rare bird, and it was not expensive, and more importantly, to my ears, it sounds great. It really sounds beautiful, and yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate to you right now. As you may imagine, I already deoxidized it and cleaned this a little bit. It was it's not in great condition, but it was much worse. I already cleaned it a little bit and already tested. And what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna do a little jam. This is my IR simulator. I will talk about this later in another opportunity. This I already talked about this one. This is another Arion. This is in great, almost perfect condition. This is a distortion SDI1, and this is, I will add a little bit of compression to the mix. Yeah, let's jam a little bit.
you.